Oh, so close. Hey guys, this is Eli, and welcome back to another episode of Polybridge. And I'm so glad you guys enjoyed the last episode. I did get some really good feedback on that. I was a little worried this game would be a bit too slow, maybe not as enjoyable, but you guys seem to love it, so here we are again for another episode. We're now on episode 2. I believe we finished off on level 12 last time. Let's just check. Yeah, so today we're going to be starting on level 113, and yeah, I think we should be getting to the second world today, which is Desert Winds, so no idea what that's all about, but let's go ahead and get started and see how far we can get in this. So let's see, double down, budget 15. Okay, so we got A1, A1.1. I have no idea what any of this means. I really don't know. Let's just do it and see what happens. Okay, so I'm just trying to plan this out, and I think because we have these two anchor points down here, I guess we'll probably do our structure kind of coming over here and doing an archway over the top, and then back down to here, and then the road itself will be the kind of inverse of that. So in my head that makes sense. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is what I've come up with, and I think we're going to need to replace some steel somewhere around here because this is just, it looks too heavy. Let's see what happens. Oh, it does actually seem stable. Okay, we need to turn on the stress visibility because I never got to see how that handled. So I think the problem's probably here, yeah. So let's see what happens if we just replace these bottom ones with steel. Now they should be nice and short, so it might be cheap. Let's just see what happens. I have a good feeling about this. Ooh, that's not too bad. I'd say we did pretty good. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Apparently we can do way better. Let's just quickly go back and see how we can do better. There's possibly too many things here. We maybe don't need all this, so let's just try deleting some of these middle ones. Is that gonna work? I'm not too sure, and I have a feeling we might not need those as well. I think we are gonna need something along the middle here, and we could actually potentially shrink the whole thing a bit. Plus it's not very even. Yeah, that seems to work. So I think we just took off 2 small pieces then. Okay, well I'm just gonna leave this one for now. I think we could probably come back at another stage and make it slightly better. Let's go on and move to the next thing. So some levels will require you to go through checkpoints before you can collect the flag. So regular checkpoint, stop, and reverse. So A1 has to go to A1. A2 has to go to A2.1 and then maybe back to A2, I think. And yet we have hydraulics, so this is going to have to be one of our hydraulic bridges. So let's go ahead and build the basic structure. Okay, so something tells me it seems a bit too simple. I have a feeling I've done something horribly wrong, right? We want this to expand, so let's go ahead and do 50% again. No idea if that's too much or too little. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, I have a feeling we've done too much there because that just seems way too strong. Oh! Okay. Do have a slight problem there. Let's just keep on watching and see what happens. So I think this thing's gonna reverse. Yeah, okay. So he doesn't actually reverse, he does a turnaround and drives forward. I thought he would actually just be reversing the whole way. Okay, so we need to get this to go a little bit higher, but we can't expand it any further than 50%. So I guess we could maybe, no, we can't move that at all, can we? So these are obviously not going to work. We're going to have to do something. Maybe we can do some of the structure underneath. So let's go ahead and take all this out and let's do, yeah, this should probably work. Let's go ahead and do this under here. Okay, so let's give this one a try. I've taken this structure down quite slim because I'm not too sure if we actually need it. This isn't actually straight. There we go. Okay. So let's see what happens. Is this one gonna work? Yeah, fantastic. Although, no, that's not gonna work, is it? Okay, we have to move these over to this joint there. Let's give that a try. Play. Oh, okay. Fail. Oh, why didn't that work? Maybe this just needs to be stronger. Let's see what happens if I do that. Expand 50%. Alright, so I think I have a vague plan. The problem I'm finding is I think these are just too short, and these seem to expand because it's plus 50%. Then if these are longer, then the 50% means it expands even further. So I think what we can probably do is we can delete these. We can probably connect it up to this. Yeah, that should work. And then we do, so therefore it's longer now. I think if we look at the purple line here, it's actually kind of goes up to here. So that's potentially how long it will extend to. So yeah, let's give this a try. We can probably make this even longer. Yeah. Okay, let's give that a try. I have good feelings about this. Very good feelings about this. Right, that's looking pretty good, but is it gonna be enough? It's a bit tight, but no, that seems to work. Fantastic. And we're about 3,000 under budget as well, so I think we did pretty good. I can't really see any way to save money on this, because I think we've done everything as good as we possibly can. Let's see how we did. That's not too bad. Not too bad. I think 2,500 is probably pretty good, so I'll take that. Okay, so this time it looks like we have some kind of pre-existing structure. So we have A1, which needs to go there. We have A2, which needs to get to there and then over there. Okay, so I think this is just a straight line thing. And we seem to have these two anchor points up high. So we can potentially suspend something from that. We do have some rope, although I do remember from the last episode that rope is very expensive, so it's probably best to not use it at all. So let's just go ahead and do some straight lines down here. Okay, so we got the natural arch shape in the road here. This one was fairly standard just to use with wood. I think this arch shape will probably sustain itself, so I don't think we will need too much support. So let's see if we can get away with just doing some small wooden supports under here. This might be a bit tricky to do because it seems to be just the wrong distance for having 3 of them. We could theoretically support this from up there, although it's slightly too far away. But I think that could work. That could be really good actually, because yeah, I think that's gonna work. Okay, so we would just need a small bit of support here then. So let's go ahead and take these out, and could we use this one here? Could just do that. I think that would work. We're massively under budget, so let's see what happens. I might have done something horribly wrong. Okay, so that seems pretty stable. Oh, hang on. That guy needs to go down there, doesn't he? Okay. So it's not as easy as I thought. We need this. I mean, could we just take that out? Would that work? Would he just drive down? It was pretty close, but okay, so same thing again, except I've just taken this road slightly higher, so just to see what happens. It's almost there. It's almost there. I don't know if this is gonna work, because this might always just destroy this bridge, unless we strengthen it even further. Would that work? I have no idea if this is going to work, but this has been strengthened. Will that fit through that gap? It does. Oh, okay. Disaster. That was promising. That was promising. I think we did pretty good. I mean, 1,700 is not bad. We obviously, I mean, it's a one-use bridge. Nobody would be able to use it again, but I think we did pretty good. I think I'm going to take that for now and can certainly come revisit it at another stage just to see if we can improve this further. That was quite surprising though. I think that was probably more of a fluke. I wasn't expecting that to work. Okay, so we're now on to the stage 2, or whatever it's called, stage 2, level 1. Looks like we're going to do a really far bridge, so this should be quite a lot of fun because we haven't had anything like this yet in the game. I'm going to do this without grid actually because I think it might be a bit easier. Okay, so I've given this kind of natural curve look to it, purely because we had one extra piece of road that had to slot in, so we do actually have a bit of wiggle room just to make this slightly more even, which I think probably reduces the stress, because if we have too many kind of bumps in place, then it does seem to stress the bridge too much. So this is going to be the tricky bit. I have no idea how we're going to do this. I think what we'll probably do is we'll have two kind of support beams that'll maybe come up. There'll be one here, we'll maybe have another one here, and then I think the rest of it will just be a kind of a standard support beam that just runs along like this. In fact, we'll probably have something like this over the entire bridge just to maintain this structure. So I think this is going to work. We're probably going to have to strengthen it even further, but let's see how this goes. Okay, so I think this is the general idea that I want to go with. We can probably tidy this up a bit, but just before we do, I want to actually check to see if it's going to work or not, because obviously it may just fall apart. So let's see what happens. Is it going to be stable? Nope, not that bit. Okay, so something not quite right there. There we go, just missed a few. Oh, I missed quite a lot actually. Oh dear. Right, there we go. Okay, let's give this a try again. So it does look pretty stable. I'd say this is actually not too bad. I think if we just strengthen it in a few places, then that will hopefully make a difference. Okay, let's give this a try. I've just strengthened this slightly. I want to see how this shapes up. Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad. I've not really done much to this side yet, so it may be a bit unstable. Okay, that's not too bad at all, so I think we can probably tidy this up a bit further. We got a pretty good score there. I think 1,225 is pretty low, but we can do better. So remember that number, 1225. Let's just see if we can make some improvements here to save a bit more money. Okay, so I've just made some refinements to try and tidy things up. I've taken it a bit thinner here because I think we might not need as much strength, and I could theoretically take these out, but I want to try it first just to see how it handles with those. We can always add them back in as well. Ooh! Okay, so I've managed to make it worse. I think we just need to thicken these a bit. This is one thing I thinned slightly, and I think that was probably the wrong thing to do. Okay, let's give that a try. I think the most stress is on this piece down here, but that's to be expected. So if we can distribute it to the other side, then that should be fine. Okay, so that seems to work great. So what was it we had? Yeah, I think we've gone down about 200. So let's try once more, but this time I want to just remove these pillars and not all that. I didn't mean to do that. Ooh. Perfect. See where we did in this scoreboard. Not bad, 765. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave that now. I'm pretty happy with that. At least we're under 1,000, so we did pretty good. We did pretty good. Okay, how did this person do this in $3,600? How is that even possible? Like, that has to be a cheat. I can't picture how somebody could do that in no money at all. That's got to be a cheat. Like, that's just not even possible. And the person who's number 2 has done it in, you know, more than, 6 or 7 times that price. That's not possible, no. Okay, so drawbridge level, we have hydraulics, we have boat, we have more hydraulics, and then we have the camper van or whatever it is. So the boat seems to be slightly to the left, which kind of implies that we're not going to have a symmetrical bridge. So let's see how we can do this. It's quite a big boat as well, so we may actually need to have, I don't know if having a flat bridge is going to work. We might need to give it a natural curve. Although I am seeing that this pivot point or anchor point or whatever you want to call it does appear to be right in the middle of the boat, so that could be important. Let's see what happens. I guess if we were going to put some hydraulics in place, they would probably want to go about here, maybe? Or we could have 2 sections to the bridge where we have a fixed section and we only have one part which is raised. That could work. We could have the hydraulics connected to this point, but I don't know if it's going to be strong enough. Could certainly give it a try, because I don't know if that's going to work, but this would be our joint here, and then this half of the bridge would lift up. So let's see if that's going to work. I have no idea, really don't know. Okay, so just revisiting what I just said, I don't think that's going to work. I think we're going to have these 2 sides, and I'm pretty sure we need to use this anchor point here. So I guess we can put the hydraulics maybe to... Oh, they do have a finite length, don't they? We could probably try and connect it to this one if it's going to stretch. Nope. I'm not too sure if that's going to work. Let's just see what happens if we connect it to this one, but I get the feeling that that's just going to be too short. So we want this to expand, we want this one to be a joint. Let's just check out these numbers. Yep, that looks fine. I'm not even too sure if this is going to work. Let's see what happens. Oh, no. Yeah. That's just not strong enough, so this, I don't think, should connect to that. I feel like it needs to maybe connect to something like this one. We do have steel as well, which I've just noticed. So we could theoretically, I mean, where was the weak spot in this? Let's just watch this one more time. So the weak spot was this one there. So let's try replacing that with steel just to see what happens. So it was this one, replace it with steel, and okay, we would have to do that one as well. Just go and replace all the bits that seem to fail with steel. I have no idea if this is the right way to do this or not. I really don't know. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh dear. I think 50% is way too much. So let's take this down to, let's try 25, 26. Let's see what happens there. It's certainly looking promising. Ooh, is that gonna work? Is that gonna work? Yes! We are way under budget as well, so, oh. I don't know what happened there. We need to watch that one more time. I think it just went down, it's maybe too heavy, and it just went down too fast. I think we're gonna have to redesign this. I don't think this is the right thing to do. I think this side is perfect. I'm just not too sure if this is quite right. I feel like we might need some steel below. So let's go ahead and delete all of this and this. Let's see what happens if... We could theoretically fix it to this point as well, and we could have a pivot here, and I did actually use the word pivot correctly then. Yeah, let's see what happens if we do this. Okay, so I have no idea if this is gonna work or not. we kind of have the two sections to this bridge now. We have the lower section which holds down these two pieces of road. We have a pivot here, so this should be free to pivot on this point. I think if we take this as far as we can go, I have no idea if this is going to work. Let's see what happens. We need this to contract now. So let's do contract 50% and see what happens. Oh, okay. Let's replace this with steel. I think, yeah, definitely need to have some steel underneath to hold the weight of this. We might need to do another piece of steel as well. Okay. So that's kind of what I was hoping for. So let's go ahead and change this to 25%. Oh, no, it's not quite right. But I think this is the right thing to do. I think we're definitely making good progress. So all we needed to do now was change this one to this one here. So if I delete this, if I can delete all of this, I will replace this with steel, and I will need to redo all of this to move it slightly further to the left. So this now becomes our pivot point here. Okay, let's give this a try now. I have good feelings about this. Oh no, I don't. Okay, we just need to replace this with steel, and that should be enough, I think. I think that's gonna work. Oh, no. We're so close. I feel like we're almost there. We're just having a few issues. Okay, so this looks a bit more promising. I think the shape is better as well. We just need to change that. But yeah, let's give this a try. So we want this to contract. Let's try 30%. I've just changed this so we now have this perfect straight line going down, and this seems to make this stronger as well, having this steel longer. And yeah, we have less weight up here. Okay, this looks good. This looks good. Is this gonna work? Please work. Oh, this could work. And we are way under budget. Oh, no. Need to watch that again to see where it actually broke. I think it was this piece here. Okay. So I feel like if we just make this slightly stronger, then we should be okay. Let's see what happens now. Right, this is the one, I can feel it. This is the one, it has to be. Oh, that was the steel down there that broke first. I think that means it's too heavy now. I feel like we're so close. We're really so close. No. I don't understand that. So when it gets to this point here, this steel breaks. But for some reason it doesn't experience the breakage until the vehicle drives onto this part. I feel like this might be a game mechanic problem, because I can't imagine why having the weight here would... I mean, I know it's further away from this, but it should distribute the weight onto this side as well. The only thing we can really do is make this stronger, but I'm not sure if that's even possible. Okay guys, so I made some changes that seem to be working now. I did some of this off camera because this took me quite a while to figure out. Basically, I've moved the support structures that were on this side to the top. The main reason I did that is, I don't know if you remember from the last episode, but I seem to find that this game is very unforgiving if you have these struts beneath. I don't know why, but it seems to pull on the joints in the wrong directions. And I think because this was pulling on the joint in this direction, and then we had on the underside it was pulling in this direction, it just seemed to be, you know, causing problems. But if we move this to the top, then it changes this direction, and it just seems to work better. I think it's probably something to do with the game mechanics. It's maybe not quite right. But yeah, I think, I don't know why, having struts on top seems to help. The other thing I've done is I've added in this piece of steel here, which is basically not connected to anything. Now my thinking behind this is these hydraulics, they're very, very unforgiving when it comes to pulling the bridge. And they seem to start off with a big jerk and they finish off with a big jerk as well. And it causes a lot of stress and tension in the bridge that we really don't need. And again, that's probably a kind of problem with the game mechanics, is these things don't start off and finish slowly. They kind of just jump straight into it. So the problem with that is you get this massive burst of energy to start and to finish with, and that usually just transmits into stress. So I used a little bit of physics here. In order to do that, we're actually going to transfer that stress energy into mechanical energy or movement energy by having this piece of steel here. Now, because this is just freely floating, this should allow the energy to kind of allow this to move up and down, just to absorb some of it. And in theory, it should work, and it does seem to work from my tests. So yeah, let's go ahead and just run this one, because I think I've made some changes, but I'm pretty sure this one will work. So here we can see this energy is getting transmitted into movement, and yet we just have enough clearing space. So hopefully this should work. Please, 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 please. Yes! Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, you saw then when the vehicle goes over that the stress seems to switch from one side to the other, which shouldn't really make, you know, it doesn't make any sense. When this joint is connected, then the stress should be evenly distributed throughout. But as soon as this crosses over that, there's a change. So I think that's a problem with the game mechanics. And I've just noticed that we seem to do really well there. 393. I think I'll take that. Yeah, we did pretty good. Let's see what the other guys did. I don't know how they were able to do that in 8,600. Like, I kind of want to play around with this one a bit more. Well, unfortunately, that is all for this episode. That last level certainly took a lot longer than I'd planned, but, you know, I'm kind of happy that they're getting much harder, because they did start off way too easy, so I'm kind of excited for a challenge, and I do hope they continue to get more and more difficult. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy this. Please let me know what you thought down in the comments section, and as always, if you did, then please do leave it a like, and if you haven't already, then please do subscribe. I've been Eli, thanks for watching.